Hello everyone, welcome to Pick Up Play. This is episode 1, or January I suppose, of the January catch-up for the completed game challenge. So the challenge, there's an episode 0 which is setting out the rules and stuff, and it's a challenge to complete an average of a game a week, so 52 games at least, in 2026, which I'm going to say it's gone okay this month, but if you missed episode 0, I'd say watch it, but don't trust me. Sorry, I'm very washed out as well. By the way, the sun is right through that window at the minute, and it's I'm a very very white boy on this side of this side of my face. So the rules were pretty simple. It's essentially boiled down to one thing: don't take the piss. Don't just try and do as many as possible. Don't just put an arcade game on, infinite credits, and then just beat a game you've played 100 times, beat that. Something that you write at the end of and count, which can't be avoided, and one of the games this month is that. But what can you do? So the rules were seeing credit counts, with a couple of caveats, but essentially, if it doesn't matter if there's like a secret ending or a true ending or blah blah blah. If I get to the end of the game, see the credits, but I needed to collect, 50 notes or something like that, or all the key, or rescue all the children or whatever. Doesn't necessarily matter. If I can't be arsed, I can't be arsed. If I go back and do it, great. So like Shinobi last year, I think I got the true ending on that. Was there a true ending? I beat the secret boss in the underground base and stuff anyway, but spoilers. The other one is I can't beat the same game twice. So if the example I used was Sonic, and I've got a million copies of Sonic, but I can't just do that over and over and over. Or take, say, Resident Evil or Silent Hill, and there is a Resident Evil game this year, but if I were to beat that, get the bonus weapon or whatever, and then go and do it again with the bonus weapon, that isn't counted twice. And the same if I were to play it on PlayStation and then on PC, doesn't count. The third one, I can't beat a game that I beat last year. So I'm going to quickly switch to the scene 2. There we go. That is the list of games that I beat last year. There's not a lot there that I would necessarily want to jump straight back in. Like Mouthwashing is a one and done. Great as it is. Like Dragon Infinite Wealth is huge. Silent Hill 2 is one that I wouldn't say no to going back to at some point. Freddy Farmer, Level Devil, they're really good. No, Level Devil was good. Spilled, South of Midnight, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Hyperstone Heist is one that I'd consider playing again, but again, wouldn't count. Claire Obscure, I'm not going to replay. Zombie Revenge on the Dreamcast, great. Balatro is a game that would have been excluded from this list because I beat on the PC the year before. Doom the Dark Ages, Towerful Cats, blah blah blah. We'll skip over. Eartheon is probably one. Number 21. That should get a physical release this year on the Mega Drive, and it's a game I would like to buy, but it won't count on this list if I were to buy it and play it, which I would like to do. So that's the rules to stop me doing stuff like, or just playing the same stuff over and over, or again, it feeds into the don't take the piss rule of just because you know a game backwards, it doesn't, maybe that's the reason to not play. Go and play something new. Not that everything has to be new, but you know what I mean. There's also a list of games that I have to beat, or 5 of the 7. I don't know what happens if I don't make it, but I'm one of them had a time pressure, and so we'll get to the list now. So yeah, the list at the time included, I'm going to have to read it off, sorry, I've got notes. Witcher 3, Blood and Wine, the DLC, didn't finish that. Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty, didn't finish that. Shin Megami Tensei 5, Anthem, Dragon Quest 3 Remake, which is started and finished, as is Shin Megami. I've started both of those, not finished. Alan Wake 2, I need to start. And Alone in the Dark, I need to do at least one run of the one that came out in like 2023? 4? 2024. Yeah, I think so. Didn't hate that, but didn't love it. So, anyway. Have a sip of coffee. Anyway, so there's a few other things that I sort of mentioned that I picked up to maybe try and help. The point of this was to try and make better use of my time, arguably, but not just fritter away my nights just sat here reading the internet and watching YouTube. Actually, just sit and play stuff, get some stuff ticked off. If need to be, actually finish some stuff, get back to some games that I hadn't finished. And so there's things I did, like oh god, am I going to be able to turn this on so you can see it because it's charging currently? I bought one of these. Oh, that's a bit blurry. Yeah, I believe it's called an Aberneck RG4 something or other. Seems all right. The ROM list is bullshit. Like it's got like 8,000 ROMs. It fucking hasn't. That may come in handy for commutes and stuff like that. Although I've yet to really make use of it. Anyway, to the point. So what have I done this year? So this is the completed games list for January. I was going to say so far, but it's January's done. I'm actually recording this on the 1st of February. So, and spoilers, I completed something else this morning, but I won't say what it is as for next month. So Space Harrier on the Game Gear. I'm gonna talk about that in a second. Actually, might as well talk about it now as we go through. Space Harrier on the Game Gear is fucking shit. It's really shit. I have never been a huge fan of Space Harrier. I've never been any good at it. And I did a Shenmue video I put up on Christmas Day for the channel, and on that I went into the arcade and played some Space Harrier, and I did really well on it. And so I was like, oh, maybe I'm actually quite good at Space Harrier now. I know, I've bought a Game Gear. Now, I've had a Game Gear for a while. I used to have a Game Gear as a kid, but I bought, this is going to make a load of noise, I apologise, but I bought one that's modified with, oh dear, there we go, with a screen. So you go, Haley Wars is in there at the minute. Haley Wars? Haley Wars. And, yeah, it's got the USB-C charger on it with the replaced lithium battery, so it lasts for hours and hours and hours, which is amazing for a Game Gear. And an LED screen, and it's recapped and all that sort of stuff. Slight issue with it is it doesn't seem to like reading games. It's a bit hit and miss about them, and I don't think it's the games, because I've got another Game Gear that I had been using that is behind me. I can't get it. Yeah, that reads them more or less fine. And yeah, anyway, so I think I've bought some tools to open it up and give it a clean on the inside. We'll see if that works. I might just destroy the thing. Anyway, it cost me a decent amount of money. When I told someone about it, they just went, why would you spend that much on a Game Gear? And you're like, shut up. Yeah, he has a Switch 2 and he's very confused as to why I don't. But yeah, so Space Harrier, it's just a bad version of that game, and it's endless. It's really stupidly difficult, and I don't know. I feel like I've seen Space Harrier played, and the stuff that's at the end of the Game Gear one is not on the arcade version. Maybe I'm wrong, but it sort of moves like it's like they've cut out a block, like, and so it moves forward step by step. So it's super scalar, right? But it's not a smooth one, and so it sort of moves forward. And I think it's like three. First appears, next one, and then it's hitting you. Sometimes, no, it doesn't do that, but it just hits you on the second one or third one, I suppose. Whatever, bullshit. But it's like they cut out a square, and the bullet or whatever is in the square, and so as it moves closer, if the background changes, you've got this like different coloured thing coming to it. It's so bad. Anyway, because I just got that machine, I'm like, I'm gonna play Space Harrier. I'm gonna fucking complete Space Harrier. So like that was like New Year's Day, sat watching World's Strongest Man with a takeaway, obviously. Just playing Space Harrier with some cheats of extra continues. Like you kept having to, and it was dicey. I'm telling you, because you have to put it in on the game over screen, but before it gets to the continue screen, you have to put in this like it's like up, down. No, up, left, down, left, right, left, right, up, down. I don't know. Anyway, that then just takes it back to the level, gives you whatever. Otherwise, I'd have had to start again. No, no. So yeah, that was the most tense thing, was trying to cheat. Um, but it was, I'm glad I beaten it. It was, I got some use out of this Game Gear. I haven't added it to the list, but I've tried. There's a couple other games I've sort of poked at with it. The screen helps to make stuff more legible. Haley Wars has all this ghosting on the original screen, but on this it doesn't. Much better experience. Still can't beat that game, but hey. Yeah. So the next game, and this is one that had a time limit on it, is Anthem. So Anthem, as I'm sure you're aware, was, I don't know, discontinued, but was the servers were turned off this month. So when I put that on the list, it's one of the 7 games. I have to beat 5 of these 7 games. It's one of the 7 that I had to beat, and it's one that I was probably looking forward to least. Like, I tried playing it relatively recently, a couple of years back with a friend, and so with it having the servers turned off, it seemed like a good time to play it. It seemed like yeah, let's just get this ticked off and beat, because you're not going to get an opportunity after this. I captured a load of footage, and I was going to do like a big review of it, and it's, like a here, going back to it now kind of thing. But I was like, well, no one's gonna, either no one's gonna care, or there's gonna be so many of these sorts of videos that mine's just gonna get lost anyway. And then there wasn't seemingly a load of those videos because no one did care. Anthem died, and I was expecting a lot of like, oh, we've lost a great game here, like, people, it's underappreciated and blah blah blah. I think a lot of people went back to it to do those videos and sort of went, I don't like it. So, like, what I will say is they changed some stuff since I was there. Like, they did streamline some elements of it, but you get things like the enemies. My memory of it is that the enemies were all sort of quite bullet spongy, and then it changed to, I mean, 1 or 2 of them still are, but changed to a lot of them going down really, really quick. And it's sort of satisfying, popping enemies off and stuff. That felt fine. Like, the gunplay is better than it was, but what it happened is, rather than, this is speculation on my part, rather than have these combat encounters that take ages because the enemies take ages, instead they started making the enemies die quicker, but then just threw wave after wave after wave at you, to the point where there was a few times I wandered off from fights because I thought, oh, I must be supposed to move on, I must be like in the wrong, I must have missed a prompt, like I'm supposed to go, and then I'd get called back to the fight, you leave in the arena, or it'd appear back on the map or something. So yeah, it felt very sort of time wasty. Like, there's a set of missions in there where it's literally just go out into the world and just fly around for a bit, and then that then prompts these things to do. Like, you have to do these challenges as well. Oh, that's a separate thing. So some of them you just have to do some stuff for a while until it triggers to do something else. And then there's one where you have to do these challenges, so you have to find the thing that prompts the challenges, but then you just have to do the challenges. And 1 or 2 of them I think I did manage to do prior to the later ones. I sort of, when I found them, I'd more or less unlocked them. But yeah, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of, this feels like game lengthening. It feels like we're trying to, because of the kind of game it is, and they wanted to sell you stuff, it's in their interest for you to spend as much time as possible in that world, and for you to go out and just fly, and ideally with your friends, you're just flying around doing encounters and stuff. It feels like that. It feels like, go and just spend time here, because that might be the thing that ticks you over into becoming the kind of person who will spend money, or this becomes a daily thing for you or a weekly thing for you. And that just frustrated me. It felt like, I mean, granted, I was up against a clock with it. I ended up beating it with a good few days to spare. That was helped by realising that I was doing the wrong quest and learning how to read the quest log better, because there is a mainline quest thing, but there's a bunch of other stuff you can do, which is cool. There's stuff there to do, or was, not anymore. But it defaulted to this this quest I just really didn't need to do. And when I was up against it, I realised I'd spent a good sort of 2-3 hours on this like quest chain thing that made no progress to the story. I only had to do one part of it, and I'd done that, and then it was just prompting the next bit and the next bit and the next bit. So yeah, final thoughts on Anthem are probably that I don't. I half expected, like I said, to see people praising Anthem, and I like to use a sort of modern term, gaslighting, that it was a better game than it really was, and yeah, it just made me think that it's not the worst thing in the world, but you'd get this like delay when you're in combat where you'd shoot things and they wouldn't die straight away, or you wouldn't show his hit damage because it was presumably checking a server. I had things where I thought I'd encountered some people, real people, but then as I approached, they'd fly off. So I think they were just there to make the world look busy, and there wasn't anyone there. I did come up with someone. There was a bit where someone else joined in, which was nice. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't think it was a particularly good game. I think it did deserve to fail for what it was. Whether or not that's BioWare's fault, I don't know. I do think they improved it, but we haven't lost this like secretly amazing game that, oh, if people are just giving it a chance. Like, no, it was bullshit. It was more bullshit than Destiny, and Destiny had its Destiny 1's fine. Yeah, it wants to be Destiny, and it wants to aim for milking people in ways that Destiny 1 I didn't think did. But yeah, I don't know. We've not lost some great game there. We've lost a pretty poor a pretty poor game. I think when I talked to a mate about it, I was like, I'd have given it 4 out of 10. Like, but I was always quite harsh as a reviewer. Like, it was rare I gave anything like a 9 or definitely not a 10. I think we only gave like 2 10s in my entire time writing for Bit Parade. But yeah, moving on. And I played Despelot. I have no idea if that's how you pronounce it. Probably not. Despelote. If you've not played it, I think it's set in Cuba. I should remember this, but it's the country was in particularly economic hard times in the early 2000s, and it's the story of it's the game developer's childhood, basically. Slightly he talks about it as you're going through the game, how it's not quite accurate, but it just tells a better story if he does this. But it coincides with them having their best ever run in football and getting to the World Cup for the first time. And yeah, I didn't love this. I had it quite early in the year because there's a forum I'm on that we do a game of the year, and I wanted to beat it ready for that. We give ourselves an extra few weeks after Christmas just to play stuff that you might have got in December, Christmas, or whatever in the sales just from the previous year. Just another couple of weeks just to sort of get some stuff sort of ticked off or played, just that you might want to add and include. And that was one that I was hoping I would and I'd really enjoy, and it just didn't do it for me, unfortunately. Yeah, I don't know. It's fine. It's cool. It looks good. I quite like the idea of it. I just didn't really enjoy playing it that much. Oh well. The next one. Grapple Dog. This was my Steam Deck game for most of the month. Yeah, a few other games as well. But yeah, Grapple Dog is... I have to wait. I've got some... I think I've got some... I might not have captured any footage. I enjoyed this. It's pretty good. It's a very retro platform, a 16-bit style platform. It doesn't... Well, it sort of looks 16. I don't know for sure if you could get it running on a SNES or a Mega Drive, possibly. I don't think it'd be quite the same game, but yeah, it's pretty cool. You're a dog with a grapple hook and you swing across, but not all the time. You can jump and you jump on enemies' heads, but there is just sort of traditional platforming. But you've got this grapple hook that latches onto certain things, and so occasionally you have to like swing across and stuff like that, and it gets initially quite basic and quite simple and a good fun time. Then it gets quite sort of full on and yeah, a little more difficult, a little more intense, a little more frustrating at points. I found the controls for that sometimes just wouldn't grab, sometimes it wouldn't grab on in ways you would think. It'd shoot off in weird directions. when you were swinging off or jumping off stuff. Yeah, I don't know. As it got more difficult, the issues with the controls sort of flared up for me. But I think I think it's a pretty good game all in all. Like I enjoyed it. Yeah, good Steam Deck game, and I think it was like 39p. So certainly not complaining about it. But yeah, yeah, I enjoyed it. I recommend it. The final game finished for this channel actually, which so I should have some video footage of it. It's Burning Rangers, and yeah, I was. This is the one that feels a little grubby because I was right at the end. I was on the last mission. It's for a Let's Play on the channel. I don't know how to link videos on top of stuff. Maybe I put it. It's I still like Burning Rangers. It's still fun. I do feel like it was on the wrong platform. It needed to, like a Dreamcast version would have been a better version by a long way. But yeah, it was cool going back to it. It's quite impressive for the time as well. Not graphically, yes, although there's a lot of like flickering in and stuff like that. But more conceptually, and I talk about this all the time on the videos. The audio cues in terms of like, okay, go right, go left, look up kind of thing. You get these guides if you press the button to sort of tell you where to go. It's really clever. Gives you good warnings and stuff like that. It's really well done. One of those Saturn games that Sega really need to just do some stuff with the Saturn library. They don't, unfortunately, but oh well. So that was what I completed this year. So we're on track. We've got 5 games beaten this year already. So in the first month, five games. That seems pretty good going, pretty good on track kind of thing. And one of those is a game that I needed to beat before the end of the year. One of the 7. So that's a productive month. I was a little wary of, particularly after. So Despelate and then Grapple Dog. There's a gap between them. I was playing something else. I didn't finish it, but I was a little worried that I might end up being like, yeah, so January you completed like 8 games and you just feel, oh, well, this doesn't feel like much of a challenge anymore, does it? But that's not happened. So, yeah, it still could. We still could have a month. But I think if we're obviously 5 games a month easily does it. But I suspect, particularly the end of February, there's games coming out, early March as well. There's games coming out that might take a bit longer. Yeah, so this sort of pace is... January was a month to get some stuff done, particularly... yeah, you get... I don't have loads of time off in January, but yeah, it was a quieter month in terms of doing stuff, so good time to catch up. So, I also have this played list. So you can see, like, I've ticked off in green the ones that I played and beat. We'll get to them because there's a slight difference, but you've got Haley Wars on the Game Gear. I don't think I'll finish it, but I've not marked it. The ones that are in orange essentially are I might not go back. But Haley Wars I like as a game. It's a decent shoot 'em up on the Game Gear. Not amazing. It's one of those games that if you die, you start back and you lose all your weapons and stuff, and it becomes impossible. So I don't know that I'll ever finish it unless I use cheats to just give me max weaponage all the time or something, but I don't know if that's a thing. Anyway, yeah, then Pride March, if you don't know it, it's it's sort of what it sounds like in terms of what it looks like. It's various prides around the world, and it's a rhythm game. You have to sort of... It's frustratingly, it's only keyboard. You can't use a controller, which is sort of, I don't know, whatever. Maybe a little cheaply made. I saw some of the comments. Oh yeah, don't read the Steam forums. Don't read the Steam forums for that game. Yeah, I don't know. I might just chip away. There's quite a lot there, but I sort of was playing it on mornings like this morning, where it's just like I have nothing really to do. I'll just play for, I don't know, 20 minutes, do a level, done. Like, it's not something I particularly want to sit there and spend all day on or something like that. I'm sure it's doable if you do that. So that might just be a continuing game. Anthem, we beat How Many Dudes is a video on the channel. That's just a demo. I haven't really gone back a huge amount since I captured that video, but I really liked that game. I enjoyed it a lot. Despelate talked about Silly Pocket Beast. Silly Pocket Beast is in orange because I have played it and I want to like it. It came out last year. It looked cool, loads of ideas and all that sort of stuff. I just found it a bit hard going, and yeah, one of those where I found it hard going, but I was like, oh, I'm like 70% of the way done. I'd probably just stuck with it, but I get the feeling that I'm not. That I'm like 10% of the way done or something. So I might go back to it. I don't know, but it's in orange because it's like maybe. I think I'm gonna save red for like orange is like I might go back. Red might be I'm done with this forever. But I find that sometimes I go back to stuff just because I'm like I don't like feeling defeated by a game, I suppose. But yeah, also it's entirely possible that some of these other games are just done and I don't know it yet, kind of thing, including this. Yeah, so then Witcher 3 is the game that I've it's another game that's on the list of the 7 that I need to beat, or 5 of the 7 that I need to beat. And it's the DLC, and I went back to it, and I'm going to splice in some footage here because you can see that going back to it, having not played it for a while, I picked up a mission. I was right near something, so I just sort of went, okay, cool. So I went and did it, and I just got murdered and murdered and murdered. And I'm on a pretty decent computer with an NVMe drive, really fast NVMe drive that it's booting off. And the load times, oh my god! Like I've got a good CPU as well. Like like if it was instant, it was so frustrating. And the way I ended up beating this was, so I realised if I ran up some steps, they weren't following, so I could then heal, then go back down a couple of attacks, and maybe run back off, and so on and so on, and just do that. So the way I beat it was cowardice, smart play, and that's what I would recommend. I think it might have been too high a level for me, but I've definitely found like I got so used to just murdering everything on Witcher 3 that going to what is quite a high level area in that DLC, yeah, there's multiple things. I've died a lot on that game. You can go down pretty quick. So yeah, I've put a bunch of time into it this month. It's still a good game. It's still great. There's a load of stuff, load of question marks on the map that I had to discover. That's when I filmed this, or when I captured it. I've put hours in this. There's way more now. So yeah, Grapple Dog, Crystal Theatre of Idols demo. Video on the channel. It seems alright. It's a game. It comes out in about 2 weeks, so I might end up picking it up. It depends how much it is, but. Yeah, this is what I mean about some games might slow down the road, because if you look at the completed games this year, a lot of them were either short or already started. So yeah, Bang Average Football has been my Steam Deck game since Grapple Dog. It's really good, really recommend it. And there's a video coming. Yeah, cool game, like it. And then Chop Goblins, it's a Dave Szymborski game who. Iron Lung has just come out of the cinema. So Iron Lung's great. You should play Iron Lung. Whether or not the film is, I've no idea. I'd like to go see it actually, but maybe. Chop Goblins apparently is really short. I died on it. I got stuck between a building. Some goblins in a car came and just kept hitting me in the car. Like the hitbox on the car was enormous, so I couldn't get out of there. Yeah, I don't know what I was supposed to do really, but so I might go back to it. It's not in orange because I might go back to it. And in Gearbox, you kind of rotate the level. I don't know if there's footage of this. Maybe there is. If there is, I'll splice them in. I don't know. I just found it a bit. I don't want to be mean about it, but I was sort of hoping it'd be a really fun little, like, yeah, okay. But you spin the level and all this sort of stuff. I just found it a bit frustrating, and there's quite a lot there, which is to its credit. It's not a short nonsense sort of thing. There's a lot there, but I just found it a bit hard going. I had Bauhaus Bonk last year, which is a similar sort of concept, and never finished that, but that felt more doable because it was quite finite. Enjoyed that though. I thought that was a really good game, so I was sort of looking for another one of those, I suppose. Yeah, so that's the list. I suspect Bang Average Football will be completed in February because I'm fairly close to the end of it. I think it's only, I don't know actually. I think I'm in the top league now, so I don't know for sure. Witcher 3 should probably be beaten, but again, you've got Resident Evil coming up. I think that's right at the end of the month. Chrysol, which I may or may not buy. A couple of other things. I bought Pathologic 3. The only person I know who likes Pathologic, talks about it all the time, does not like that game. So, but the Steam reviews are pretty good for it, so we'll see. That's the January roundup. So, all in all, think that that's been a productive month. I need to keep up the pace, but I'm a little wary of going too fast. But I also don't want to. Oh, I tell you. So yeah, I suppose that's what I should concentrate on. Final thoughts, sort of issues that have come up. So there's one thing I haven't said is there was a game that I started playing. I've left it off this list. I'm going to just pretend I haven't seen it because I could have finished it. I could have finished it there and then. I was really close to it. I was really quick. I've not added it to the list. But it was the sort of game that I'd said that I didn't want to just fill the list with, and yeah, it sort of showed why. So I've stopped myself playing it. It is not going to be picked up in February. It's going to be delayed further down. So the knock-on effect of doing this list is there's some stuff that I'm turning down because I could have just ticked that off, not a problem, on my own personal list and blah blah blah. But it would have felt a bit grubby on this, so I just stopped playing it. I probably will get back to it unless I completely forget about it. But yeah, so it changed that, and then it was like, no, go and play Witcher 3, go and boot Witcher 3. Also stuff like, I don't know, Silly Pocket Beast maybe I would have stuck with if it was more sort of completable, or I don't know. Again, I might go back to it, but I do think it's already started to affect what I do. I think it is also hopefully having the effect of, sorry, don't just sit and frit away your nights. So I think it is having positive effects. This, whether or not I can keep that up is another matter. Obviously, the bit that becomes an issue is I have various things going on this month come in February. My worry is that the list becomes too important. I don't want to be saying no to real world things because I'm so close to the end of Witcher 3. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to lose that. So that's my slight concern, is that the list takes over. Similarly, I don't want the list to just get completely abandoned because of stuff, but yeah, the trying to time the list with the videos, I suppose, is part of the issue. So anyway, rambling nonsense aside, that's it for January. So there should be another one for end of the month. Yeah, so I don't know if it's going to coincide day and date like this one has. We'll see, it might do, but it's generally going to be, I'm going to, at the very least, try and capture it on the right day, even if I then edit it a few days later or something. But yeah, the aim is at least, I don't want to say, but there's definitely sort of a couple I could do quite quick, I think. And then we'll see. Witcher 3, I think, is fucking weeks away from finishing. Like, I don't think I'm getting that done in the next week or two. So, yeah, so that that's made me think I'm glad that I've reached that one early, because if I got towards the end of the year and I still had to beat that, that's quite a undertaking, it turns out. So yeah, so thanks for watching. Another one of these in a few weeks, in February, end of February, 1st of March, whatever. And beyond that, there's stuff on the channel. So I know there's going to be a Bang Average football video because I've already recorded it. I just need to edit it. The Burning Rangers video should be up soon for the final episode of that. And what else did I do? There was a Chrysol demo video. And we'll see what else comes up. I don't know. No, nothing else captured, I don't think. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a month.